Semi-final number 1, qualifier number 3, Battlefield of Eternity. Our first map between Team and Time for Int. Yeah, Time for Int played a very good game on Infernal Shrines in the previous round of the tournament. I really liked it because they were perfectly aggressive at the beginning of the game and it made sense for them. But once that they had pretty much all of the structures destroyed from the other team, they completely fell back, played it passive, and let the minions do their thing. And that's exactly how you need to play Heroes of the Storm. You really need to adapt to the situation in the game that you are in, instead of just mindlessly looking for team fights and trying to just crush everything there. So, great job by them. Now we are in the semi-final, third qualifier as mentioned before, and here we're heading into the best of 3 against Team And, well, they won the last qualifier, so they didn't participate in qualifier number 1, they participated in qualifier number 2 though, and they won it pretty handily. Some of the games were a little bit closer, but yeah, those guys are obviously fan-fucking-tastic. And also, one of the things that in that context I still want to quickly point out here, I mean, today they're playing with a sub, but at the same time, Team is going to go to the event in Miami. So if you live in Miami, if you live close by and you want to attend the offline event, you want to actually see them in action going up against some of the American teams, just Google Defrost LAN Miami Heroes of the Storm and you're going to find all the information that you need. The event takes place on the 4th and 5th of February, so very soon. And it's going to be pretty awesome. We had a crowdfunding and everything where the community chipped in to make it possible for the blue team to travel to the event. They're going to represent Europe there. Obviously, in an ideal world, we would have loved to have an event where you have, like, I don't know, 4 European teams, 4 American teams, and a couple of Korean teams too. Some of the Chinese teams as well. But that's not the esports reality that we're living in right now with Heroes of the Storm. But at the same time, we get one of the European teams attending, and that's already pretty sick. So Battlefield of Eternity is our first map here today. Team is gonna try to make another statement, and for Time for Int, it is an opportunity to maybe cause a bit of an upset here. We have a lot of supports banned out. The ban on Stukov is... it's a little bit weird. It's not always banned, but most of the time you have Stukov banned, you have Rhaegar banned. Sometimes we see that little mind game where the teams both decide that they don't ban out either, and then each of the teams takes one of them. But now we're starting things off with Li Ming on as a first pick for Ultralisk. And what do we get for the red team as they're starting off the draft? Battlefield of Eternity, you could play Vala here. It's in general a map where with the 2 lanes you have multiple ways of how you can play it. Either you go and focus fully on the team fights, you can try to go for a composition that just focuses down the Immortal and burns that down as quickly as you can. A little bit of macro game in the late game is also possible, but a lot of this is hinging on team fights and how exactly you position yourself there. Having some good poke, for example, is pretty neat. Like, for example, Li Ming can just always throw her combo off against the Immortal, and then the opponent's team have to decide whether or not they want to soak the shots up, or they just let the damage on the Immortal happen. Okay, so we got Tracer and Tyrael. Now that should trigger Malfurion Ban or pick. If I see that, I immediately think Malfurion. If team can pick whatever they want, they take Malfurion here. Now, at the same time, obviously the blue team knows that. So when they head in and they make this kind of play, they know what's coming up next, so they already have an alternative for themselves synced up here. And yeah, we'll see. There's Malfurion ban, there it is. So Malfurion gets banned. Yeah, with the Nubarak and the Haka. They could have picked Malfurion. They didn't have to ban him, they could have picked him. Genji gets banned out. Yeah, Nubarak engage, Malfurion follow-up. 4 supports banned. Yeah. 4 supports gone. Okay. And what's the situation here? Earlier I expected a Vala, right now I'm not so sure anymore. But there's Anduin and Vala. Alright. We got the pretty boy. Anduin is in the house. And Vala begs the question. Second support or arrow build over auto attack? I mean, this is the map where you would go for an arrow build, right? But you could still go auto attack if you really wanted to and you're focusing on team fights against Tracer. That might not be a bad idea. Pressure her even more. Urel Played by Swamgarota and Banana H with Ana. Ana and Tracer. Good luck, Banana. I mean, Banana's Ana is pretty bananas. That's why a lot of people ban Ana against Banana, because they know that his Ana is pretty bananas. And if he gets Ana, he is just going full banana on them. But with that being said, healing Tracer as she's zipping around? Double Overwatch on the other side, so there's that. Yeah. And there's Uther! We got our double support! So it seems like we're gonna get that auto attack style for Vala. I like it! Game number 1, Battlefield of Eternity. Our first summer final of the day, everybody. Let's head straight in. Team against Time for Int. Dino and Tracer for the blue team in game number 1 of this best of 3 series with Banana H on Ana. Yeah. Ana to heal Tracer, that's bananas. Now Masquerade is playing Tyrael. We got Ultralisk on Liming and Swamgrata on Urel for the blue team. Time for Int with Arian on Anubarak. We got Alvaros on Vala, Arkunis on Uther. And we still get the arrow build. Despite the fact that they're running a double support here, we get the arrow build right now. And Richu on Dehaka, Rutek on Anduin. Not gonna lie, after they picked 2 supports, I really thought that they would go for an auto attack style and try to play that, but nope, far from it. So instead we're having a bit of a play with, I mean, Vala with an arrow build is obviously also capable of getting a lot of damage out here. It's not like that build doesn't hurt, it actually hurts a lot if you play it properly. But the main strategy when you're going double support is to go auto attack style, take that Gambit talent on level 1 and make sure that Vala doesn't die. And Tracer would have definitely not liked that once that all of the damage kicks in. But then again, at the same time, if of course there's a good play to be made with burst damage from Liming and Tracer with an ult, keeping Vala alive will be tricky. As it stands, bit of damage up at the top. They're already starting to take down the wall a little bit. Favorite in this series, of course, still the blue team. There's a lot of team... Like, honestly, people are really split on the blue team, because there's tons of people out there that love them for how strong they are, how well they coordinate their plays, and how just good they play Heroes of the Storm in general. And then you have a lot of haters that would love nothing more than seeing them lose, because they're saying, it's so boring. But yeah, these guys are good, I don't know what to tell you. If you're that good and you're that far ahead of the curve, then that's just what it is. But eventually, of course, they will face off against someone that is able to take them down. So far, it hasn't really happened yet, though. But I'm definitely here for when it finally comes through. But right now, they are the ones to beat in Europe. There's just no doubt about it. The one thing that they're guilty of, for sure, is that they tend to trot around a little bit too much in some of their games, especially when they already take a lead in the series. A little play here as they're starting to dive in on Swamgarota, but taking Urel down in the early stages and usually doesn't really happen. What I like though is that Vala is doing a very good job at stacking her level 1 already this early, 8 stacks. That is pretty good. So nice job by Alvaros. If he can keep that up a bit, then he's going to have a lot of damage against the Immortal eventually. That's a really nice start. I gotta say, that's a really, really good start for Alvaros, so good job. They're also starting to take down the tower. And they have the earlier level 4, which results immediately in the repeating arrow. We got the bed of barbs here too. Nubarak diving out. Vala with another chance to get herself another hit on the level 1. And she has 12 stacks by now. That is pretty good. I like it. We have seen a lot of games where Vala players with an arrow build just weren't able, especially in the early game, to get any decent amount of stacks together. But this is already a great start, and if Vala can keep that up throughout the duration of the game, it could become a very interesting match with a lot of damage potential from her in particular. Yeah, so we'll see what he can do with this. Dino at the same time, he's also going to be a little bit of a linchpin for the blue team, as he's just going to zip around and play Nexus Mosquito. Drag is in, there's the follow-up stun, they're going for Masquerade here. Double arrow connecting once again, and Masquerade has to move out. Banana H helping with Ana with one pew pew after another. The problem for the red team is that they just lost the halftime show. And now they are finding themselves on the defending side. Probably not liking this one too much. Vala by now still on 14 stacks. Starting to go for the Immortal here. Would love to have a level 7 at this point already. But still, they're starting to chunk it down a little bit. They're obviously going to lose out on Immortal number 1. But they are still able to put it down to, let's make it 30%. So, it's not too bad. Could have been worse. Later on, we'll likely see them change their strategy a little bit when Vala has access to her level 7 talent and even more stacks on the level 1. But for now, they have to face off against Immortal at the top side as the blue team is about to push in with the first objective of the game here. So yeah, Yrel at the bottom of the map against Richu. Still the 1 versus 1 between the two of them. 16 stacks by now for Vala. And they shouldn't even lose the fort here. I would be surprised. The wall obviously is going to go down. Everything else is a bit questionable, since they are doing some good work with this. The level 7 on the other hand, that might change things slightly, especially since the Haka isn't even here. They're zoning now completely away from the fort. They're going to get this thing after all. Well done. Vala also now with the Monster Hunter, so this is going to be big for the next Immortal, but they lose the fort, and honestly, it wasn't even close. I gotta say, I'm a bit impressed. Initially, I didn't expect the blue team to walk away with a fort here. I really thought they could push them back, but the level 7 talent changed things. And that small, tiny window that they had here allowed them to go for the fort and take the first one down in this game. Now, looking at the damage output, we currently have 13,000 for Alvarez. He already has top damage in the game. Li Ming with the 12k that she brings to the table is taking second place. And the team has now moved down to the bottom of the map as they are attempting to take down the Haka and drop him. Thus far, that hasn't happened. But yeah, goes for the drag. Doesn't connect it. There comes the play for, Uther. And he's in trouble, but they're still alive. Look at how deep Ultralisk went to land the combo. With the two supports working in tandem, everybody is still alive and kicking. Dragging that minion. Bad minion. Bad. Whip it, baby. So right now, they're starting to go straight for a Nubarak again. It's a nice back and forth between the two here, but also the pressure that gets applied by the blue team. It's not too shabby. Now Vala, of course, doing the same thing. Stacking, stacking, stacking. Trying to get enough level 1 hits so that she can later on burn the Immortal down. The second one, of course. But besides that, later in the game, she's gonna solo those things. The level 7 talent literally making it possible right now. Subterranean Shield is also in. We got the Desperate Prayer. Another little play here for Arian. Question, of course, on level 10 is also going to become what exactly we're seeing from Masquerade, who has gone Judgment multiple times with his Tyrael lately. Majority of the plays are still happening with Sanctification, but still good CC chain on him too. Not enough to net them a kill, but definitely a good start. Ah, but here's the Vala kill. This time, no chance, and Rute gets also crushed as Li Ming comes in with the Calamity. Well done. Level 7 and level 10 are now available. That gives us a Sanctification. They got all of their ults out and they push past the fort, going for Uther to go for another kill. And that is 3 kills to 0. So this exploded quickly. There was enormous pressure the entire time against the red team, but all of a sudden it was a bit too much. And then the dam broke, and now, as you can tell, it's not only a level lead, they also have the fort at the bot lane, which is more or less already destroyed. It's down to 50%. And here the halftime show gets locked in without any hassle whatsoever. They can literally just wait for it to land and then burn it down, since we don't even have level 10 abilities for Time for Int. They get them now, though, but I'm not sure if they can really make the play here. It's all about getting Vala in position, I suppose, but they never really got the opportunity. Already, they're going for the Cocoon, trying to force the fight against the rest of the team. But everybody dodges away from Anubarak, and nobody was really caught by this. So Svamkarota is now back to business and finds himself behind them. Yeah, and they're going for the Immortal again. Same time, we could also see a hit against Uther, possibly. There's the Strafe already used as they're rushing away, all on the defensive here. Hit after hit is coming together for Vala in particular. Svamkarota is low, drops the ult, another combo from Li Ming with the damage, and they take position around the red team's Immortal to win the next objective. Uther also insanely low. The same is true for Nubarak. Both of them are able to escape here, but the objective is claimed, and that's 100% currently on Immortal number 2. And topside, Vala, she dealt with a wave down here. Fort is already insanely low. I mean, that is a lock right here. That's bad news. Really, really bad news for Time for Int. They find themselves in a very difficult position right now. So, for the time being, it is the blue team that's in the driver's seat. And it doesn't really seem like this is going to change anytime soon. Let's not forget that the red team is still waiting for their first kill here. So, yeah, they haven't locked in kill number 1 yet. Damage output, Vala with the 25k. Li Ming has by now taken over in the top seat. Driver's seat, she's at 30,000. Getting those resets in. Yeah, Svamkorota able to hop out, eats a few more tower shots, but is still fine. The Immortal dropping tower number 2 and marching straight towards the keep itself. Yeah, oh my god, he's even going in this case for Glass Cannon. I mean, normally an absolute meme talent that just asks for you to be deleted, but they are so far ahead that he just says, alright guys, we're going Glass Cannon on this one. And to be absolutely blunt, one of the reasons why he can do that is not only that they are currently way ahead, but at the same time, there's nobody on the other side that can really threaten Li Ming right now. If there was a Genji there, that would be a bit different, but Li Ming has been incredibly safe throughout the entire game. Vala can't get close to her, so right now Ultralisk is just staying far behind and getting the damage in. Divine Shield hits before the Calamity connects. Uther would have been gone down too. Bot lane keep, halfway eliminated, and they are just still attacking. But yeah, Ultralisk going for all the memes here. Normally when you see Li Ming take a Glass Cannon, you can just always go straight for her and delete her time and time again. But they need a hero that is able to bridge the gap in order to do so, and currently they don't have that. Yrel and Tyrael are providing a lot of space for her. There's nobody that has the mobility on the other side to threaten her. As long as she stays away from possible Dehaka spots and an Uberak, she's gonna be fine. And it's all about positioning here for Ultralisk. And of course, the other problem is that if you focus too much on Li Ming, then Tracer has even more space to get her damage out and move in for quick kills. But the pressure gets applied by Team is a bit nuts now. They are looking again for a fight, and of course they do. They have level 13 talents. They got the talent advantage. Immortal is spawning too, and maybe now an opportunity for the red team to make a play. If they get level 13 in particular, they would be able to try and move in, maybe put Vala into a good spot around the Immortal and look to, do finally some work here. The idea was there with the Light Bomb to lock down Tyrael, but that didn't really work. But here's Alvaros. And this is really where he's gonna burn down the Immortal very quickly because of his arrows. He's at 25 stacks. Stacking slowed down a bit for him. But they are, in this case, able to keep up with the damage output on the other side. Now, they haven't really won that fight, but it's more or less a 50-50 for the time being. Vala now also locking in Gloom helps her not only against Li Ming, but also against possible Ults on Tracer. 13 versus 13. And they have to go for the defensive position once again, and it's not really a good spot to be in when you're up against Li Ming. But here's the Cocoon, gets burned down quickly, the stun against Yrel misses, and the backline gets attacked, and Anduin does what he does best. He goes for the French defense and runs away as they are starting to chase him down. Still alive, Divine Shield being used now too. Strafe to zone them out a little bit, and look at that, Masquerade gets nano boosted. The kills! Li Ming with the big hits, 3-4 heroes down, as they absolutely crushed them in that last engage. Yeah, that one was nasty. I mean, as you can see, they just murdered them one after another. Uther the last one to fall, and then they can take down the Immortal. They're now 3 levels ahead. It's 7 kills to 0. Not a single kill for time for Int at this point. They haven't been able to take a single one down. So, for now, we have the big plays towards the top lane. At the bottom of the map, still keep in mind this keep is also on 50% HP. But a talent advantage on level 16 and 3 levels in total is just nasty. Absolutely nasty. Yeah, they are heavily ahead. And of course, they're having quite a bit of fun here too. I mean, duh. So now the play for keep number 1. Tracer is at the bottom of the map, playing against Dehaka, trying to make sure that they're getting both keeps. Uther nearly died again, doesn't even have the Divine Shield cooldown up, so couldn't go for the panic button either. Now they make a play for Alvaros here. That keep is 100% gonna fall. Yeah, this keep is gone. We're 13.5 minutes into the game. Question is, can they maybe even end the game here? They need kills for that. But they're still 3 levels ahead, so the stats advantage that they get through that level lead alone is already significant. And now they're chasing, look at this. They're chasing hard. In comes the play against Li Ming with the cocoon, but they can't get kills here. Well, maybe now. The drag on Masquerade, that one connects, but that's not enough. Tracer doing a little bit of damage on the core. Definitely not enough to take it on, but that's 5% on the core loss, and the fight is still raging on. Tracer took down the bottom keep, by the way. The bottom keep is eliminated, and they're still doing some damage. Dino is soloing the core at this point, eliminating another 5 points. Don't forget that the Tyrael explosion itself, if they commit, will also take on another 5 points off the core. So that's another important part. But they are not making a complete Hail Mary move here. But yeah, Dino, he's still needling them a little bit. 30 stacks for Vala. Still not enough here. The damage output, 66,000 by now for Li Ming. Yeah, and of course they still haven't suffered a single death yet. Not one. Another camp gets taken. They might even wait for the next objective. 16 will be available to time for Int. Urel already getting in positions that they can technically try and go for Richu. They're actually going all over here. They're trying to force them back at this point. Masquerade can simply zip out. That's exactly what he does. So they're zoning them back, and already the Hearthstones are starting because they're not quite sure. Are they really committing to that backdoor attempt? Or are they just trying to bait us back? Only the Haka moved back though, so the red team didn't fall for it. But they have Manticore now. And here comes the fight, and immediately Vala is dead. So is Anduin. Anduin and Vala are instantly gone. Uther saves himself with the Divine Shield for another second. Barely makes it past the gate. But now there's 2 heroes down, and they can go for the core. Once again, Team is doing a great job here. Yeah, they're destroying all the structures. They're on a mission. Go for the core. We still have a couple of towers to take down, so let's start with those first, and then we're going to make our play. And that's exactly where they're headed. 9 kills to 0, everyone. They go for the core, start attacking down. Urel this time is the one that gets nano boosted. Akunis is making it out for a moment, but he's not going to make it for long. Uther dies, and now it's time for the core to fall. Nicely done. Well played. Time for Int. They tried, but they still didn't get a single kill. 10 kills to 0. Alvaros is also on the run. He doesn't make it either. Oh, and Tracer falls. Dino, you feeder. Dino feeding. Nice job. He gets slapped. Tracer down, and they might even lose. Yep, they lose Tyrael, but the game is over. 1-0 lead for Team in this best of 3 series here at the semi-final of qualifier number 3 for the X Cup Winter.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet, so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Tomb of the Spider Queen, the second map of our series. Yeah, the blue team, they had some fun on the last one. 2 died towards the end, Masquerade and Dino, but up to that point, they were able to play the game without a single death. So now we're heading into the second map of the best of 3 series, and the winner obviously advances to the grand final, whereas the loser drops into the 3rd place deciders match. But yeah, this could be... I mean, it will be interesting what we're going to see in regards to bans in particular. The Karrigan first ban is a little bit strange. I'm looking to my boy Junkrat to see if he gets banned. Stukov and Rhaegar obviously still hot candidates for an early ban. But Tomb normally a map where not only you can build up a bit of momentum, but also where all of that wave clear that you get with heroes like Johanna really plays a big role. I really want to see if there's a chance for time for Int to bring this back. Again, clear underdogs in this one. But you know, maybe. Tomb of the Spider Queen as the second map, and well, for the time being, we have the blue team with a big lead here. I mean, they were so confident on the last map, also because of the composition, that they even went into thingy glass cannon with Li Ming. There you go. Well, and so much for my question, what's going to happen with Junkrat, right? So yeah, the red gets taken out. No Junkrat in this game. And instead we have Rhaegar banned. That leaves Stukov open. I would be a little bit surprised if Stukov isn't picked here. I mean, if you don't pick Stukov right now, Team is likely gonna do it for you. There we have it. Alright. Yeah, again, that would have surprised a lot. So, okay, Stukov is taken. And the thing is, on this map, they actually started to troll quite a bit in the last season. So in the fall season, they had a lot of plays here where they were starting on the second map, especially if it was Tomb, to pick some oddball heroes and then play with them. We might see that again. But yeah. For now, Reina, Jimmy, and Banana H locks him in. So now either they are simply switching a couple of heroes back and forth in the swap phase, especially since Ultralisk now also picked Garrosh. Might be that a few of the players are currently AFK or whatnot and they're just picking first. Or they're going for role swaps, which we have seen them do in the past as well. So that's the second option. With Stukov taken as the first pick, by the way, they can now try and go for a killer comp. Maybe snipe them with even a variant composition. Yes, there it is. And Jaina for the damage. Okay, so textbook sniper composition. You come in with variant, Stukov follows up with a lurking arm after the taunt, and then Jaina drops the damage and goes for burst. It doesn't get more cookie cutter than this. This is like the sniper composition. If you put a blaze on the side for an additional stun, then you have even more. Rexa with Misha does the same job, so he gets banned. Maybe they also want to pick Blaze for themselves here. And then, of course, in addition to that, you still want to have either a melee or you're even looking towards additional damage, which you could do. Medivh gets banned. That's one of the things that is really annoying. Like, Ando and Medivh are the two that are really good against variant sniper compositions. One, because obviously Medivh supplies the shield and also the portal. And Anduin against variant isn't bad either, because you can always go and just, like, grab the target that gets taunted. And that helps a lot to help them survive here. But either way, with that already happening, what's Dino gonna lock in for them now? Are they gonna play Anduin here? That's one of the bigger questions. Against a sniper composition, it would already help. Asmodan, exactly. You see, this is what I'm talking about. It's exactly what I'm talking about. So they go for Asmodan and they go for Deathwing. Asmodan, if you get him into the late game, I mean, he can do work, and this is one of the maps where you have access to nearly every single lane, so those globe styles can be nice. If you're just trying to push lanes, then you go for the demonic invasion and just push it out that way. There's a couple of different ways that you can play Asmodan these days, depending on what you feel his role is within the team and what you try to do. But yeah, for them, Illidan! Illidan and Vala, okay. Didn't expect Illidan on the side lane. I thought they would pick Blaze. But nope. They go for Illidan in this case. And now the question, what is the support going to be? And also, are they going to swap heroes? That's the next question. Because if Masquerade is really playing the support, then oh my god. Yeah, good luck with that. What are they taking? Lucio over Anduin, and yeah, we're gonna figure out in a second if they're swapping heroes or not. Yes, indeed they do. Okay, thank God. But yeah, time will tell, guys. We're heading into game number 2 of the semi-final, Tomb of the Spider Queen. Let's see what the blue team can do here with their Asmodan composition, going up against an Illidan of all heroes. So yeah, here we go. Map number 2. Tomb of the Spider Queen, Dino on Reina. We got Swamp Grotta on Deathwing, Banana H and Lucio. Ultralisk is playing Asmodan, heading into Gluttony on level 1. And a Masquerade, he's playing Garrosh in our second game of the best of 3 series. Alvaros on Jaina for time for Int. We got Varian played by Arian. And Rutek on Stukov. Akunis on Illidan. Feel the hatred of 10,000 Storm League games. And Richu on Vala. Yeah, going into stacking as well. The unending hatred on level 1. So he's really trying to get to that late game. There's a lot of body blocks that are available for them too. Let's not forget about that. You have Swamgrotta and Ultralisk, both on heroes that are pretty heavy hitboxes. So they should go for that. By the way, again, I have to say it once more. I know. It's like one of those topics, but yeah, this is another great skin for Deathwing. This is a real dragon, and this is a real kill. So 30 seconds in, and already Vala is down. That's not the start that you want. Auto attack build again. But that's an actual Deathwing skin. Now we're talking, you know, not this like turkey bullshit. The big chicken is like, yeah, it's just like chicken McNuggets, but that is an actual dragon, you know. Good stuff. I like it. I don't like what we're seeing here at the top. Guys, this is bad. One of the towers nearly down. We're 1 minute into the game, and not only did they get a kill, but they're already starting to take some of the towers down. That's definitely not how you want to start this off. So it's a bit of a tricky one for the red team. They're definitely, from the get-go, on the receiving end for a bit of a beating. Now, Arkunis is getting hits in down here, though. So that Illidan play will be interesting, to say the least. And he's already having some problems, and one of those problems is death. Yeah, a little bit too strong for him. Okay, so Illidan is down. That's the second kill in the game for the blue team. And they also help Ultralis to stack a bit, as you can see. He's on 30 stacks right now and is doing what he's supposed to do. Missing that timing just a little bit. Didn't get as much out of that wave as he should have. Misplaced one of the auto attacks, but now that they're killing Varian at the bot lane again, it's 3 kills to 0, an entire level lead on level 4. More structures going down, siege giants chipping in. I mean, damn son. That is a train and a half that they are running on them right now. And a lot of damage too. Level 4 talents, that gives us the Battleborn. But things are not going well for Time for Int. They need Arkunis to pop off a little bit with Illidan in the late game to bring that back. Now that they have Varian level 4, at least they can go for the taunt combo and hope that together with Jaina and with Stukov, they can do some work here. But this is... yeah, this is going to be tricky. 52 stacks for Asmodan. Again, if you help him stack at the early game, it's all that you got to do. And this is my PSA again. If you're playing in some of the lower leagues, doesn't really matter where you play. If you play Asmodan a bit more often, you want to play him in your quick match or whatever, or you just find yourself in a game where you have an Asmodan playing with you, please, for the love of God, help him to stack in the early game. Help him to stack. Let the minion waves crash against each other. You auto-attack the back lane or the back a little bit. Once that Asmodan throws in his orb, after that you drop your AoE, you burn him down, and you help him to stack early on. If you're diligent about those early game plays so that he stacks faster, he will be able to stack solo very quickly, and it will snowball towards the later stage of the game. Nothing hurts my brain more than when I see some amateur teams play with an Asmodan that tries to stack his orb, and then throughout the entire game nobody helps him and he has like 0 stacks at 10-minute mark. I just want to cry when I see that. Time for Int also wants to cry a little bit, because now they just lost 2. They lost Varian and they lost Jaina. So both of them are down and get a timeout. But without even looking at a turn-in, the first wall is already destroyed. There's a lot of AoE damage, and they're going for the fort in the middle. Time for Int is... they don't even have to Int on this one. They are just getting hammered. Absolutely hammered here. Yeah, fort down... 4 minutes. 4 minutes in and the first fort is down. And just in case you didn't catch it yet, there wasn't a single Webweaver wave. Not one. So now that they're starting to turn in, we could see them with the first Webweavers, but this is just not a good spot for them. That's a kill though. That's a kill. Garrosh is down. They're trying to go for the counter kill. Alvarez nearly died, but Dino went out a bit too deep, and now he's dead too. So that's 2 kills for Time for Int. Time for comeback, baby. Oh yeah, here we go. Comeback time. And they can turn in a fair amount of gems themselves now. They don't have enough. They actually do have enough for a turn in at this point. But for that, Arkunis would have to deliver, and I don't really think that he can. But you can see how it's already annoying for Svamgrota that with the big hitbox that he has, Illidan can just body block him into oblivion, and that is really a pain in the butt. But here it is, the turn in. And the first Webweaver wave goes to the red team. 120 stacks by now for Asmodan. Nearly another kill against Masquerade, but it is instead Lucio that dies. So Time for Int is starting to gain a bit of a foothold here in this game. To be absolutely fair, they have now the same amount of kills that they had at the end of game number 1. And Kunis is going to get away from this one. I think. Oh boy! Run, baby, run! Okay, so he's still alive, but that was scary. That was real scary. If they lose Illidan here, that's a problem. Masquerade is dying again. 5 kills to 4. Guys, they're back. They are absolutely back. And now they can do some structural damage too. Because Garrosh is missing, it's a 5v4, Illidan is on his way, level 10 abilities for both teams now, which brings us to the hunt for Illidan, and that's another kill. Lucio is dead, so is our boy Reyna, and Svamgrota just committed Sudoku. Svamgrota was about to commit Sudoku here. Like, he's diving in solo. Asmodan topside died, by the way, against Arcunis. So Asmodan is now down. Those hit point boxes don't help. And apparently Svamgrota is not in any trouble whatsoever after all. He just jumped in, nobody attacked him. To be fair, you can't taunt him. You can't taunt the mighty dragon. Can't slow him down, so yeah. He has 26 gems, so him diving into all 3 of them was still a bit of a weird one. But there it is. Now we got 5 kills to 7. And Illidan is also building up a bit of momentum with the 15 stacks that he has now. Same amount that Vala, by the way, runs. This could get more interesting than expected. Blue team hasn't lost a whole lot of gems, so that's the upside. And now they turned in. So they get their own web weavers. And they haven't lost a fort yet. Earlier, as you might remember, the mid lane fort was destroyed by Team Wah. Now they're even applying pressure at the top before the web weavers are even here, so good for them. But Illidan is starting to do a bit more work. They got their kills, they even have a kill lead. And maybe they now have a chance to come back because they're already ahead in experience. Third game would be incredible here. Ring against Jimmy, and he's about to go down. Jimmy is dead, Masquerade is on the run, Svamgrota jumped in and took Illidan down. So Illidan is destroyed. And maybe we're seeing Jaina die too. He's trying to get the kill. And she's dead. Nicely done. Good chase. Cutting her path of retreat off completely. Up at the top, the fort has now fallen to the web weavers. 8 kills to 7. Bot lane still gets attacked. Structurally, the blue team is still far ahead. And they have Asmodan at 164 stacks by now. Damage output, by the way, 19,000 for Deathwing. He's the top damage dealer in the game at this point. Diving in even a little bit deeper, trying to apply additional pressure. Svamgrota with 37 gems has to turn in. Yeah, he really needs to get rid of those. They have a second turn in pretty much, that's what we're looking at here. Now, they can do some more work, as they do. And that wall to fall would be kind of nice. This is interesting. Dino's already waiting for the boss. 7 kills to 8. Yeah, has his level 13 talent now. Goes straight into the line 'em up. And Asmodan has his first quest completed on level 1. Wall is also destroyed. And yep, Dino is working on the boss up at the top with Jimmy. Now the rest of the team is a bit on the run since we have time for in starting to chase them. Level 13 is there. And while all of this happens in the mid lane, Dino is just running around the boss and starting to solo it here. Might get some assistance, might not. They have still full vision on everything, so it's not going to be a big problem for them. Svamgrota gets attacked, but is able to make it out, and that's important, since, as mentioned earlier, he is the one that holds most of the gems of the team. But while all of this is going on, the turn-in at the top, or the turn-in is happening at the bottom, but at the top, Dino is soloing the boss. And he takes it, so the boss is taken. The turn-in hasn't even happened for the red team. Even if it did, it would have been a good trade for Team Wah, since they trade turn-in into boss defense. But as it stands, there wasn't even an opportunity for Time to make that play. Ah, ring! Ring and kill as Illidan goes for the hunt. But everybody is low on the red team. Everybody's low. Ruchu is barely getting out. They must lose at least a few heroes here. There's no way they can all escape. 1 down, 2 down. Stukov wanted to go for the big slap. Dino came in and dropped Vala, so 3 are eliminated. And Dino isn't even done yet. He wants another kill. And he goes for Vala. He gets a 5-man team wipe. Everybody down. The boss at the top keep. 12 kills, 2-9. They got level 16. The keep here, it will fall, if not to the boss, into the catapults and the minion wave. There's just too much. And at the bottom of the map, the same situation is going to occur. They dropped everyone. And Lucio is turning in so that the team can rely on the web weavers to finish what they're starting here. That is a big blow against Time for Int. They were hoping to make a bit of a play here and maybe force game number 3, but their hopes are slowly being killed by the boys in blue. Both keeps are down, but a single fort has been eliminated on the left side of the map. There's a talent advantage, 1.5 level lead, and Web Weavers that are now hitting the ground. Middle gets attacked. 23,000 damage by Deathwing. Vala has taken over. She's in the pole position with a 26k, but it's not changing anything. More shots are being fired by Ultralisk's Asmodan. They obviously have the siege damage here. They've been pushing this time and time again, and they are now going for keep number 3, trying to make this Winion territory once again. Too much. There's the Hyperion. The keep is down, and they want to go for the victory in game number 2 right away. But Masquerade dies. He dies quickly, and they do damage through the core. The question is, can they finish it off? They're trying. Ultralisk going for Illidan right now. The core down to 76%. Dino's also getting isolated and attacked. He will die for sure, but there's still damage being done by some of the catapults. The core is down to 70%, and they're trying for counter kills. Banana Age goes down, but so did Jaina. And Akunis gets dropped by Ultralisk. The core at 66%, and more minion waves are pushing in. Here comes Svamgrota with Deathwing, but we already have Asmodan killed by Vala. She's dropping them one after another. Deathwing turns into Deadwing as he gets killed too. Another 5-man wipe and the turn-in for Time for Int. Their core is down to 66%, but they still hope that they can turn this around. 14 kills to 14. They're closing the gap a bit, but of course they need to do some structural damage if they want to have a chance to make it back in this game. They're so far behind in structures. It's absolutely incredible. Absolutely insane. So, well, there it is. The attempt to take a few forts down. The bad news is there's already 3 heroes back on the map. 4 team. They're gonna get Asmodan as well. Masquerade with the trollolololol once again. Even a little bit of B-stepping happening between the 2 teammates. Yeah, but now they're ready for the defense. With Asmodan obviously being able to drop a lot of that AoE damage. They should be able to take these down easy peasy, as you can see. Boom, minion wave is gone. He's at 340 stacks and has now also access to the total annihilation. Level 20 talents, soon TM. Maybe at least 1 fort is going to go down on the blue team side since the top lane is getting attacked. But Asmodan is currently already sitting there trying to solo defend it. And he... nah, he's not able to do that. But here comes Illidan. A little bit of assistance though, since Svamgrota's jumping in. Akunis doesn't give a shit though. He's like, that's my kill. Nice play by Ultralisk here on the other hand. He's able to make it out, and there's the Illidan kill. Sad story. And we're gonna look at it again. So initially, like, look at the vision play. Plays around the gate time and time again, and then Akunis gets killed as Banana joins the fun. They're dropping him. In the meantime, big hits in the middle. Oh boy. 5-man wipe. Once again, 19 kills to 14. And now the play for core. Game over. Team with a 2-0 victory in the semifinal, everybody, against Time for Int. They tried. They got 14 kills. You gotta give them that. But at the end of the game, they weren't able to make it. So, Dino soloing. The rest of the team is just checking. Dino apparently saying, boys, I can do this by myself. And yeah, not so much. Nope. So, yeah. Dino tried to solo the core. That didn't work out. But the rest of the team is finishing what he started. And that leads us to another grand final slot for Team as they take the semifinal with a 2-0 victory against Time for Int. GG.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.